Well, YouTube, being a tackle junkie gets expensive, and I finally broke down and put together a real BFS setup. I'm actually pretty surprised because this wasn't supposed to show up for like another 3 or 4 days, but it's here, so let's go over what's in the box and what it's going to go on. Over the last couple of years, I've got into the whole BFS thing. Like a couple of days ago, I broke down and bought my first actual BFS rod, and that is the Daiwa Tatula XT65 Light. This thing is a good looking rod. And up until that one came in the mail, the only BFS reel that I had on hand was a King Zephyr. I believe this is a 7:2-to-1 reel. You'll get 65 yards of 6-pound mono or fluorocarbon on there, and 75 yards of 4-pound mono or fluorocarbon on there. One thing that I didn't know about this rod when I ordered it, because I thought it would be like a 2-piece where the ferrule will be up here on the rod. Well, it's not. The rod comes apart at the reel handle, which was kind of a turnoff, but you've got that much ferrule almost to the bottom of this hook keeper or bait keeper going into the handle, so you don't have to worry about that being a problem. But this King Zephyr runs about $60–70, I think. I don't know. I've had this one a couple of years before everything went up. But anyway, enough yapping. Let's get to what's in the box. King. What we have here is a King Kestrel. They really hit the nail on the head when they came out with this reel. A little bit smaller profile than your standard bait casting reel. And there we go. That is a good looking reel. This is an 8:4-to-1 reel. Super shallow spool. You're not going to get a ton of line on there, but that's what BFS fishing is all about. All right, let's check out a couple of the features of it real quick. Your star drag clicks when you adjust it, so you got a good audible, idea of how much tension you got on your spool or your drag. Anyway, I'm going to get this thing set up with some line real quick and throw it in the vehicle, and then we're going to try to do some fishing. Not today, because I got to work today, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and so on. But the first little clip here is going to be from where I just went out a couple of days ago, from where I went out yesterday with the King Zephyr, and just threw some stuff around to get a feel for this rod and see how I liked it. Fish. Not a big one, but it'll work, and it's got a swimming politician on it. See? Swimming politician. That right there is very, very fun on this BFS stuff. Well, the swimming politician fell off, but that right there was a super, super fun fish. I'll show you what I caught it on here in just a second. Kind of janky rig because I didn't really pinpoint where the hook needed to come out, but it's also upside down rigged 6 cents 2.7 swim bait in Pro Ice or something like that, with a finesse swim bait head in 1/8 ounce. I would have been here sooner, but I wasn't paying attention and missed like 3 different turns.
Who you got?
BFS. Yeah, I ordered some and forgot that I had some.
That's my best thing so far for here. I lost one in the tree over there. This is the only other one I had.
Oh, this is like the 1/8 ounce deal.
That might be better. I just caught a yellow bass. So there's still some fish around here.
The only thing I don't really care for about this rod, separates at the handle.
Supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Oh. Which one is that?
The Tatula.
Oh, okay.
Test it around a couple times if you want to. Yeah. Well, I ain't seen if this thing's, yeah, it's tuned good enough.
I was reeling it slow. This is 1/16 ounce.
Now this is
Have you
like,
thrown this one?
no, not that. That one's
Oh,
that.
Bethy's light. I'll just have to switch hands. Ooh, yeah, that's a little heavier. That whole thing right there is so light.
Well, made a change up to a Leland Lures bait of some sort on the chatterbait head. It's a little bit small, but I think it'll work.
I got a couple, but I haven't used them yet. I'm gonna save them for...
Yeah, I ordered 2 or 3 more of that one, and I originally put 6-pound braid on here.
Gotta get it down low. They're still in there. It's like I'm like rarely crawling it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you should have seen a couple of them I caught. They were like 15 inches. They were like really fighting. That's a pretty good one there. Yeah, back to a white bass. I have caught a couple of yellow bass, but most of them have been white bass. All right. You always know Chris is gonna bring good luck. I always catch someone when he's here. Talk about doing a catch a cook with a couple of them. Sitting up right here, like, oh man.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for it. Yeah, I've been hitting rocks several times over here.
Trying to let it really get really low. All my bites I've been gotten is when it falls real low in there.
Got it.
Oh. That one? Oh yeah.
Yep.
He was out there, wasn't he?
He was about even with those bushes.
Dude,
Dang, it feels good on this.
All over.
It feels good on this BFS. Dude, that is huge.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah.
I ain't ready to bend this rod over like that yet.
Good one.
Dude, that is solid. That's every bit of 15, 16 inches.
Yeah. Are they spawned out already? They're thin, but
I'm not
those
sure.
are pretty big ones.
That is a solid. Yeah, that's definitely a female, but she looks spawned out.
Trophy yellow bass?
No, not yet, but I've come close to it.
Oh, they're there. They're out there.
All right.
Oh, they're back. They're back, baby.
They're back.
We had to wait them out. That was another nice one. I'll take these all day. Dude. You get them like that, that's all right. Look at that mouth. I don't realize how big their mouth are. When those bigger ones,
Oh, yeah.
they can get quite a bit in their mouth.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Take a picture of that if you don't mind. I didn't get it. Okay. Oh yeah. Try to just get stuff like that whenever I got somebody around.
Alrighty. We're back at the little boat ramp where John and I fished a couple of days ago and caught a couple white bass. The water has definitely gone down about 2 feet or so. He was catching white bass. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ride over there. And we were fishing from about the water's gone down that much, which is quite a dang bit. And all of the white bass that we were catching were in this little spot right here. None of them were out in the current. But we're gonna see if we can catch a couple more. Yeah, all this the other day was underwater. Like, matter of fact, CreekFishingAdventures caught a crappie right there. You get up to this gate and that was it. We got a fish. I have a fish. And there was one swim by it just as I let loose of it there. But it had this little bass fish on it. It was sitting like right behind that one log that's poking up. Well, it appears that ain't nothing over here that really wants anything. We lost the one fish over there a while ago and nothing has bit since. So I reckon what we'll do is just book it over to the next spot and see if there's anything there. But so far, I really like this. BFS setup that I've got here. It's a Daiwa Tatula. Actually, I need to trim some of that braid. It's getting kind of chewed up. But it's a Daiwa Tatula BFS XT 6.5 light power. Let's go somewhere else, see if we can find some fish. Alright, last spot that we're going to fish for today. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Just depends on how it goes. I actually sit up here for about 30 minutes before actually coming down, just watching two guys in a boat down here to see if they were catching anything. And they weren't. So I'm more than likely wasting my time. So, but I have seen a couple of fish splashing, so you never know. Fish. What are you? Ah, you're what I came here for. Fun size white bass. You got a little parasite or something on you there. Those things hit like a freaking Mack truck. Let's try and do that again. I may change up here in just a little bit because I'm still using that chatterbait, but I've got a really obnoxious, like, bright trailer on it that I think is helping fairly well in this nasty muddy water. But you never know. I do have a 3/8 ounce rooster tail with me that I'm tinkering with tying on. Fish right at the bank too. Jeez. Another just hog of a white bass, and that is a lot of hooks, so refrain from a lot of frivolities. Oh, that was definitely a little fun size one. That one's a little bit more filled out than the last one we caught. Got it in the gill just a little bit, but it's not going to hurt it. It's not bleeding that much. But something keeps jumping right over here. I've cast it over a dozen times and nothing, but switched over to a 3/8 ounce white flash rooster tail. It's got like a little holographic, whatever you want to call that, flash to the back side of the blade, or top side, whatever. It's my favorite one of all the rooster tails. And there's stuff jumping over there that I can't cast to. Fish? Yes. Temporarily had me wrapped up. Chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. That's a lot of hooks. And you got a lot of sharp edges on you. That would be a larger male white bass. The females are almost always much more plump and lots bigger. Like a female about this size would weigh easily twice as much as this male would be. But it seems like this is on the back side of the spawn, so they're a little bit spawned out. Let's get you back and try to get us another one. Because so far, I'm liking this BFS thing. This Cascade Kestrel is smaller than a lot of bait casters you're going to find on store shelves. So it's very comfortable. And I know there's going to be people that's like, well, why use a bait caster for throwing super light baits? Just use a spinning setup. It's not that. People keep gravitating toward that argument. It's all about muscle memory. You know, there are people out there that never use spinning setups because they're just used to how bait casting setups feel and how they work. And there's, you know, the group of people that want to use, you know, ultralight style baits on a bait caster. And your typical bait casters you can buy at Walmart, stuff like that, they're not made for throwing light baits. Yeah, the majority of them can throw a 1/4 ounce, 1/8 ounce, stuff like that. But when you're talking about getting down to like 64s, 32nd of an ounce, things like that, most bait casters on the market can't do it. Not without a lot of modification. Also, I don't have a clue just how deep this is right in here, so I'm just kind of letting it fall till it, you know, feels right, and then retrieving it, because I know a lot of the yellow bass that I've been catching have been holding a lot closer to the bottom, but white bass have been kind of in between bottom and mid column. I know this ain't like super deep down through here, but there are some spots that are. Well, you know what? They've about quit biting at this thing, so there's a few little things here and there along the bank that's kind of splashing and hitting little bugs and stuff, so we're going to downsize. See if we can catch a bluegill on BFS. We're going to give this thing a real BFS test. I've got a little 32nd ounce jig head here with a 1 1/4 inch Bobby Garland itty bit swimmer. I'm not expecting a lot out of this because this is 10-pound braid, and this rod really isn't rated that low. It's rated 1/16 to 3/8, but we'll see what we can do. It's definitely harder to get more accurate casts because unless you swing directly overhead, your bait's going to go off to the left or off to the right. But we are getting some decent distance with it. Nothing crazy. Hey, we caught something. It's a decent size, whatever it is. And it's what I thought it would be. That is a fun size little bass on this 6.5 light. See? BFS ultralight gear, more or less. Like this is a 32nd ounce jig head and 1 1/4 inch bait. BFS can do it. Let's get a picture and get that one back. And I'm thinking about going up to a 16th ounce head and crawling a little Bobby Garland or something along the bottom. Nice. Nissan. Nice. But with this reel, it's rated to go down as low as 32nd of an ounce, but this rod isn't. You know, they have to kind of be paired up for them to really get the most out of the cast. And having a heavier braid like I've got on here, like 10-pound, doesn't help that anymore. Like you're doing good to get more than about 20-30 feet. That was large. I want to catch that. Fish. Hey! Hey yo! Hey boyo! It's our old buddy, old pal, crappie. There we go. First crappie on a BFS. A real BFS setup, I should say. I gotta be careful, I got slime on my hand, I don't want to drop my phone. But I changed out to a 16th ounce head, which I probably tore the crap out of that bait. A 16th ounce Arky sickle head and a pearl chartreuse Bobby Garland. That's what that one wanted. Yeah, I tore the crap out of that. But I've got this thing set to 3 on the magnetic braking, and the spool tensioner pretty dang loose. And with this bobby garland and this 16th ounce head, I can get a pretty dang good bit of distance. Now mind you, the settings are fairly low, but that right there is every bit of 50-60 feet. And if I wanted to go a little bit lower on the settings, I could, but really I don't need to. Fish. Jeez. Another just hog of a freaking yellow bass. Yeah, you're being a goober and don't want to open your mouth so I can get that jig head out of you. Dang, as far as yellow bass go, this has definitely been one of my best years as far as catching big ones go. Like around here, that is a better than average yellow bass. All right, let's get you back and see if we can catch one of them other ones that's over there doing that. I've already got more than enough for a video, and that bait shredded. I've got more than enough for a video here. My first outing was, you know, an actual BFS setup, and this is the most that I've used a bait caster period in a very, very long time. You know, good easy side cast there, that's 50 feet, no problem. Didn't really put a lot of effort into that cast, and it's small enough. Like, I've got a small enough hands for a guy as it is, but this reel is small enough that, you know, you can, you know, work your lure and do a little bit of reeling with one hand. Just, you know, doing that number. Another fish. I don't think this one's nearly as big. And it came off. It was another yellow bass. That sucks. But hey, we caught fish today. We're having fun. You. Freaking otter. A dang big one at that. No, that ain't an otter. It's a massive beaver. That explains all the slapping that I heard over there. Well, that was a break. Do I want to retie and fish for a few more minutes, or do I want to call it quits? And it's 7:30. We'll go ahead and call it quits. We got enough. We had enough fun for the day with our BFS set up. We'll see you back at the vehicular here in a minute. Really? I'm trying to do B-roll here and you're interrupting me when I should be trying to catch that fish. Well, today turned out to be pretty dang good. Well, if this video comes off as all over the place, then it kind of sort of definitely was. I've had this set up for about a week and a half, something other like that, almost 2 weeks. Been out several times trying to do a video with it, and just either ran out of time or the fish wasn't biting. So there's footage from 3 separate trips, give or take, using this rod and reel setup. And like I said, BFS is more along the lines of the ultralight side of bait casting. Yeah, you could easily just throw all of this stuff using a spinning setup, but if you're more accustomed to using bait caster setups, then BFS is going to be a better option for you because your muscle memory is already tuned to handling gear like that. And like I said earlier, the standard bass fishing reels that you see on the market, like your Shimano SLXs, your Daiwa, whatever their alphabet, they've got some weird names for their reels. Abu Garcias, stuff like that, that aren't BFS reels, just cannot throw super light baits like 64th ounce, 32nd ounce, 48th ounce, 24th ounce, and so on, like a dedicated made BFS reel. Like these BFS reels have smaller spools, better bearings, and they're just made specifically for these lighter baits. But if you choose to just stay with spinning setups, that's perfectly fine. Use what you're comfortable with and what you know. I personally think this BFS thing is pretty freaking fun. I'm probably going to have another BFS setup at some point in time. This outro is dragging on, so if you like the video and like the content I'm putting out, check out all the links in the video description. The very top one is the channel membership link. If you want to get access to videos before the public does, sign up there. Below that will be socials for the channel, like the Facebook page for the channel and Instagram. And below that will be any affiliate links. Now, I don't think this rod is on Discount Tackle's website, but they do have some Daiwa rods that would probably work. But below all of the affiliate links will be, well, non-affiliate links, which is where you can find the Cast King Castrol and some other BFS type stuff that you can check out and not spend nearly as much, because, you know, like I said, a BFS can go as cheap as $100 for a rod and reel setup, or it can go into the thousands. So anyway, I've gone on long enough. Hope this video